Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for hip-hop history. Hip-hop history. It was a trans man.
Was that Will Smith?
And you see that? They're coming after Chapelle now. They're coming after Chapelle now. You can't even be a comedian in this country anymore. Or at least that's what everyone's saying. Everyone's saying, oh my goodness. Oh my God. You can't even be a comedian. You comedians, the poor comedians, they're getting attacked everywhere. Ever since Will Smith did that slap thing, he did slap him. Ever since Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, everybody's been going crazy. It's been going crazy. But it's not really that crazy. It's not really that hard to believe. It's not really even that big of a deal. I mean, I think that Chapelle was in more danger than the guy who Mike Tyson was beating up. The guy who Mike Tyson was beating up felt way better than Chapelle did. Chapelle got his ass smashed. I mean, it was the dude, there was a linebacker. Dude looked like a linebacker. Boom! Smashing him right in the face. And then, of course, right after that, Chapelle had to throw his little piece out there because, he's been feuding with the LGBTQ trans community. And right after that, he had to say,
It was a trans man.
And, of course, physical violence means nothing when you say words that hurt people's feelings. Even though he was joking, and at the spur of the moment at that time, that was a hard tackle. And of course, he had to tell the joke, and it was a pretty good joke. I mean, it was pertaining to what the controversy that he's been dealing with recently. And I mean, Chapelle does that. He's controversial. There's a bunch of different subjects that you can look at Chapelle's career, and people give him flack for the things that he talks about, but he continues to power through and plow through, and it ain't stopping. And it ain't stopping yet, because right after he got tackled, boom, went right back into it, and he said,
It was a trans man.
And then, of course, Chris Rock was there, and Chris Rock, everything being in the news right now, everything being crazy right now, and Chris Rock having to get slapped by Will Smith, and of course, he could get away with it because he's Will Smith, obviously. These are the most obvious points. So I don't even want to say, can you believe that they didn't treat Will Smith like they treated that random guy that tackled Chapelle in Los Angeles? No, of course I can understand that. That's Will Smith. Majority of us know who Will Smith is. Not this random guy with possibly a gun tackling Chapelle. And then security, whooping that ass. And I'm sure security who covering Will Smith probably didn't think that he was going to perform physical violence. None of us think that, you're going to be witnessing physical violence, especially whenever it comes to a comedy show. All you want to do is come to a comedy show. So Chris Rock got slapped. Chapelle got tackled. Is it really that big of a deal, though? Do performers have to deal with this stuff? Yeah, performers have to deal with this all the time after doing pro wrestling for 15 years. Sometimes you just get these random people who want to go and make a point. Whatever their point is, it doesn't matter. They will try to ruin the show. They will try to ruin you. How many times? I mean, you can Google wrestling fans jumping the barricade, and then our job is to beat the shit out of them because security sucks for every single one of these venues, every single one of these different shows, these traveling shows that have security working there. Most of the security, they're not paying that much attention. It's a one-night job. That's all they're trying to do. They're trying to get through this one night, get paid, get laid, and keep it moving. And keep it moving if they can. But I remember having somebody jump through one of my matches in Florida, and I remember having an argument with him, and, in wrestling, you banter back and forth. You go back and forth and you yell at each other, and you try to get the fans riled up if you're a bad guy or a heel. So I was trying to get everybody riled up, and I looked at him, and he was sitting with his girlfriend, and I said, yeah, like that's going to last. I don't know. It wasn't a planned quip, because usually you can come up with some good ones and then have it ready just in case. But that one just came out the blue, and for some reason he shut up. He got real quiet, but his girlfriend didn't. She was just sitting there with her awkward body language trying to enjoy the wrestling show, and she obviously was not a fan because she didn't even understand what the fans were chanting and how wrestling fans act, because it's a different type of experience, a different type of live experience. It's way more interactive. So I was wrestling, and this guy, and God, I wish, and this is an old clip. I didn't have. I'll have to see if I can find the footage. I'll put it in my shorts if I can find it. I don't think that I can find it though, because I don't think that there was the footage. But this guy came up and started. We were wrestling around the outside of the ring, and we got closer to his side, and this guy was like MFing me, and MFing me. And I just looked over at him, and I was like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I walked up on him and then said, luckily security was paying attention, because he started walking up on me. I looked back, and I grabbed the wrestler, and I turn around, and this guy's coming after me like he wants to kill me. And I look back, and I'm like, man, okay, cool. And I know I just said security sucks, but hey, in this little bum nowhere town, security was on top of their shit. They were on top of their shit at this armory in Gadsden, Alabama, And I don't even remember if that was where the show was, but that was one of the times whenever somebody did try to charge me during a show, and luckily security was paying attention. But this is a normal thing that happens. Now, it's not necessarily a normal thing for large venues and arenas like the one that Chapelle was performing in, because they pay their security guys a little bit more, and they actually have a staff who's capable of taking care of the building, because the building has its own staff. But they keep saying that the guy had a gun, and it's hard. He got in. It's Los Angeles too. Los Angeles has like some crazy strict gun laws, even though guns are rampant over there, and gang violence is rampant over there, and homelessness is we have to keep. I hate bringing up how bad some of these places are, because that's our country, man. Those are our country people. Those are our countrymen over there. But with all these things going on in LA, you would think that it'd be harder for them to have a gun. It'd be harder for a crazy person to grab a gun and then go and then be like almost on the front row. Dude looked like he was coming from the front row. But what a hilarious point that Chris Rock had by saying,
Was that Will Smith?
Because the timing. The timing was just perfect, because that was just a couple months ago, guys. That was just, the Will Smith stuff was just a month and a half, maybe? Not even 2 months ago. Yeah, but I really don't think it was that big of a deal. It is fun to be hyperbolic about these types of things. But when you're performing live in a venue, sometimes, man, you're gonna reach these crazy people, and sometimes these crazy people are gonna storm on, and it's crazy because then you see all these different narratives being built up for what this was about, what's happening. But at the end of the day, man, people are crazy, and you need to watch your ass and watch yourself, or you're going to end up being just like Chapelle, flat-backed on the ground. I know that wasn't a positive message, but hey, pay attention.